Well, hello to my Flickering Myth family out there, and welcome to our channel. My name is EJ, and we are going to be diving into the movie that could have possibly just saved the John Wick franchise. Yes, we are diving into Ballerina. With 4 really solid movies in the John Wick franchise, you would think that it would just be over. They completed the story, but they tried one spin-off series called The Continental that was not good. That gave me some pause. That made me scared for where we were going to take the John Wick franchise. Look, like I said, those 4 movies are pretty damn awesome with some amazing fight scenes, some of the greatest cinematography in any action movie, and a great fun lead performance from Keanu Reeves. So when we did The Continental, I'm like, oh boy, not good. What are we going to do here? And then we had the announcement of, from the world of John Wick, Ballerina. I liked the Ballerina stuff we would see vaguely in the background. I mean, Anjelica Huston, my Morticia Adams, delivering evil craziness just to get people to be assassins. I love it. I'm hooked. So that was kind of the hook into this. Like, all right, didn't like the Continental, but I like what they were trying to set up with the Ballerinas before. What can we do when we extend that? Well, I am really impressed with Ballerina, completely blown away by what they did with this film. Look, I like Ana de Armas. I didn't think she was going to be as actiony as someone like Keanu Reeves. I like Len Wiseman, who I know him from the wonderful Underworld movies from the early 2000s, but he's not that classic Chad Stahelski that we knew from the other John Wick movies. So we're coming into this really hesitant. Like, I like some things, I don't like some things, I'm a bit nervous, but my goodness, by the end of this movie, I had the biggest smile on my face. Is there things I would have loved to change? I would have loved a bit of a better villain. Gabriel Byrne, he's here, but he's not, to me, he's not a villain. He's not giving me John Wick amazing. Like Bill Skarsgård in 4, iconic villain. This villain here, he's okay. But over than that, I loved it. I was smiling ear to ear. The violence, the brutality, the action scenes, Ana de Armas' story. I love the Eve story. I think to me, this is way more personal than the other John Wick movies. And I know, that first one, he was trying to get revenge for his wife by way of the dog stuff. I understood what that first film was meaning emotionally. But this movie, this one really spends some time to build up the Eve character. We get her backstory. We understand why she's in this world and why she wants to push against the rules, much like our John Wick does. She is very similar to John Wick in that way of like, oh, this is the establishment. I understand the rules, but I'm going to use the rules to my favor to get what I want. She wants revenge against this like cult that is running outside the world of the high table and the continental. There's this kind of evil cult in the middle of the snowy mountains that are just crazy people, just training people from young kids to be assassins, much like the high table and all of that stuff does. But there's a bit more brutality to what they do, a bit more kidnappy feelings. At least everyone says, hey, you can leave whenever you want, unless you're John Wick, and he has to spend 4 movies trying to leave this crazy world. Yeah, I love what this movie had to do, what they set up. The universe is expanded even better, but again, leaving outside all of the world building. We definitely spend time placing this movie firmly in between movies 3 and 4. I get that. But outside of the world building, I just love the story of Eve looking for revenge and saving another girl who could have possibly been where she was. That makes this so much more interesting. I am from the video game world. I kind of like those missions in video games where you have to like escort somebody. If you remember Resident Evil 4, where Leon's having to like take Ashley around, it's not exactly like that, but there's just the element of that where I'm like, I like this kind of setup. I like this kind of mission. I like what we're having to do. I just like the movie. It's so refreshing to go into a movie that you're a bit nervous about and then just be blown away by how deliciously crazy it is. Saving the John Wick movies could be labeled as no easy task. I get what they're trying to do with telling these different stories, giving us the backstory of the Continental, showing us the other side of the assassin world. it could be a bit hard, and it could also run into the problem of feeling a bit been there, done that. You've seen it once, you've seen them all. Some people feel that way about the John Wick movies already, but this movie, the extra special sauce here is how damn gory it is. The blood, the violence is upped to a great degree. That to me is the biggest savior of this compared to some of the other John Wick movies. I think John Wick 4 is probably the most bloody action-wise, but it doesn't have the feeling that this movie gave me. This movie made me cringe multiple times. I won't give you any spoilers, but there's a point where a grenade goes into a mouth. Mind blown. The grenade scene in general, where she's looking around and she only has grenades, iconic. That to me will be the signature fight. We also have the flamethrower fight, which is equally as good as well. Man, the final act of this movie is explosive. But again, I like the whole structure of this movie, and I like that they built up a brutality that was a bit different than our Keanu movies. They say, look, Ana de Armas, she's a smaller girl. She is a woman compared to a world where there's going to be much more muscular women or big, strong dudes who are brute badasses. She's going to have to fight a little different. She's going to have to play a little differently. And they express that very well in this movie. You could tell good fight choreography makes it feel like it's for that person. If you play Mortal Kombat, if you play wrestling games, you know that each person has their own moveset, their way they flow, the way they move. Ana de Armas' Eve is so different than Keanu Reeves' John. I love that they just feel they're trained from the same universe, but they're different. So it makes the action different. It makes it a bit more palatable. It makes it just, this isn't the same kind of action we've seen before. Now it's a bit more brutal. There is some insane moments throughout that I was cringing in the best possible way. Furthering the John Wick franchise seemed like a scary prospect before Ballerina. With the Continental and the conclusion of the John Wick stories, where do we go? Unless John Wick 5 is him going to hell, doing full Dante's Inferno, trying to get his wife out of there, I don't know. I don't know what I would want. But with this, I could see us expanding more to the other assassins. We already have the Kane movie in the works with Donnie Yen. You remember how he kind of left off last one, killing Rina Sayawama's father and saying, you know what, you can come from me. We're going to see that story. We're going to see that depicted. Now we get to see Japan. We got to see a little bit of Prague here. We got to see the New York Continental, all these different Continentals. I love you, Ian McShane, but your Continental is trash compared to some of these other countries. What are we doing? But that's what I want to see. I want to see these other Continentals. I want to see these other assassins and how they play and how they fit into this universe. Do we need to kind of backdoor John Wick into everything? No, some of the John Wick scenes felt a bit fan servicey here, but I'm a fan and I felt serviced. I don't know how that is an insult this day and age where everything is fan service. Horror movie franchises, superhero movies, The Pit on HBO gives me fan service sometimes. Brad Dourif was in there. You know what I mean? Like, he's related to, it's just like everything does fan service. So John Wick having to shoehorn some John Wick scenes in this movie, I'm fine. Ballerina did exactly what it needed to by giving me just a taste of John Wick. A good fight scene between Eve and John. There's no spoilers there. Maybe she doesn't survive. Maybe she does. And maybe she lives on to maybe see her again. Who knows where we go from here, but I'm excited to see where we go from here. That Continental show nearly killed this. We were nearly dead in the John Wick waters, but man, Ballerina really brought back some life, brought back some energy, and made this franchise feel cool and fresh again. Do I recommend that you see from the world of John Wick Ballerina? Hell yes. Get up in this movie as soon as you can. If you like the John Wick franchise, this will be just another chapter in that big book. A good chapter. One of those chapters that I feel myself wanting to revisit already. That's great. But maybe you aren't a big Keanu Reeves fan. He's not in the movie a lot. And Ana de Armas really does do her damn thing. This feels like her superstar role. This feels like I can see her coming into the action world. She was good in, what was it, No Time to Die, the last James Bond movie. She was good in that small scene there, but here we see her, she could, do what Mila Jovovich did, what Angelina Jolie did, these female movie stars that are also action badasses. We can see that with Ana here. Give her a superhero role. Zatanna's up in the DC world. We could see that. You know what I mean? This is a good star-making performance for our lead character, a fun directorial effort from a director I like, and a good expansion of the John Wick franchise. Ballerina has it all. I really highly recommend it. You all see it this week. All right, guys, what do you think of my review? What do you think of Ballerina? Are you a fan of John Wick? Are you a fan of this movie? Share your thoughts down in the comments below. Give us a thumbs up if you did enjoy this, and make sure you subscribe to Flickering Myth for more videos like this. All right, guys, let's talk about Ballerina right down below.